The movie exhibition world got rocked the other week when they announced out of nowhere that Taylor Swift's Eras Tour that she's on right now, which is, by the way, it's official. It's the biggest music tour in the history of music. They say it's going to ring in about $2 billion. I know it's ridiculous. But they're going to put it out in movie format, a concert movie, coming to theaters on October 13th. And the day they announced it is the day they put the tickets on sale. Ticketing websites crashed. It might end up being, it's going to be one of only 5 movies that gets into the triple digits for opening weekend box office. I have a feeling it has a shot of being the number 1 opening weekend of the year, to be honest with you. But how big it gets, we'll wait and see. Well, all the Swifties started buying tickets, but now, according to a report in Variety, if you got a Cinemark near you and you and your fellow Swifties want to just have your own party and shake it off together, you can do that. This comes to us from Variety. It says this: well, Cinemark is offering moviegoers a chance to rent out auditoriums to watch the filmed version of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, which hits theaters on October 13th. Private Swiftie parties, as the theater rentals have been dubbed, cost $800 plus taxes and fees and can accommodate up to 40 people. That may sound like a lot of cash, but remember that some Swifties paid as much for a single concert ticket to the pop star's Epic Arena Tour. Now, this isn't a really brand new concept. During the pandemic, certain theater chains, including AMC Theaters, they started the ability for people to rent a theater privately for their own friends, pick a movie, and for like $300, sometimes $400, you can have up to 40 people and go into the theater and have your own private viewing experience. Them doing this with the Taylor Swift concert tour is brilliant because, number one, the tickets have already been on sale and they've sold a lot of tickets. And you know that a lot of people who have those tickets are also going to be booking their own private parties. This is also about twice as expensive as a regular booking a theater for a private screening of a movie. Like I said, you go to AMC Theaters right now and you look up a lot of them, you're spending $250, $350 for a new movie. This is going to be $800, capped at 40 people. So even if the auditorium holds 100 people, you're capped at 40 people. That means you're going to be spending about $20 per person, which ultimately is the cost of a movie ticket anyway. The difference is it's just going to be you and your 39 closest, most personal friends. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Vessi. Now, like me, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of Vessi, the shoe that claims to be incredibly comfortable and waterproof on top of that. Well, these claims are really interesting to me because as a Canadian who walked around in a lot of snow, and as somebody who likes to go camping and hiking with his wife on the weekends, there's nothing more uncomfortable and horrible than walking around in wet feet. So after receiving my first pair of Vessis and noticing how incredibly good looking the shoes are and how mind-boggling comfortable and flexible they are, the first thing I did was I took them into the backyard to put it to the supreme waterproof test and dipped my feet in my pool. Guys, my feet were bone dry, and like 20 seconds after having them in the pool and I touched them, the shoes themselves were also bone dry. Guys, seriously, these shoes are stupidly comfortable, they look great, and they absolutely lived up to the claim of being waterproof and keeping my feet dry. I absolutely love my Vessi shoes. So guys, if you want shoes that are good looking, are ridiculously comfortable, and on top of all that waterproof, you need to head to vessi.com/Campea and get yourselves a pair today. Go to vessi.com/Campea and get shoes for your best summer yet. Rob, this is actually genius on their part because they're going to, since the tickets have been on sale for a while, we already went over all the auditoriums. We saw how many of these screens are already sold out. There are people who have all their tickets, maybe even 2-3 sets of tickets, who are also going to be booking private parties for them and their friends and stuff like this. I think this is a pretty smart move on their part. I think they could make it a bit cheaper, to be honest with you, than $800. I think if I were a Swiftie, I don't think I would book it for $800, but everybody kicks in $20, maybe you got it. What do you think about this move?
Well, dude, like you said, this is genius. And if you think about it, like you've got, let's say you're a mom or a dad, and you've got 2 daughters, they've got their friends, they've got their parents, they've got aunts and uncles. You could pick your favorite families. I could see this as not just being an individual thing. I think it's a great family event. Like if you couldn't afford tickets, it's a way that parents can maybe give back to their kids that weren't lucky enough to go see the concert for whatever reason. They can all go together, make it a big event. Like you said, $20 a person. This is like nothing, and they can all dance in the aisles if they want. And I think this is a great idea. I wonder, I'm curious because this isn't even AMC that's distributing the movie.
Cinemark.
It's Cinemark that's clearly, which is really interesting to think that this is not just one theater chain. It's a bunch of theater chains, and I'm wondering if this is a deal that maybe even the Swiftian, I don't know what the name of her company is, but I want to say it's whatever Swiftish company name she has. Was it their idea? Either way, it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing for families. It's a great thing for people that love Taylor Swift, and I wish I'd thought of it.
I can already tell. I can tell you right now who the two biggest demographics of people renting these theaters are. Number one, and in no particular order, but we're going to start off with number one. The mom, dad, or aunt or uncle who wants to be the cool mom, dad, aunt, or uncle who's going to say, for my little Susie, I'm booking your own theater, invite your friends. So that's going to be number one. The second one is little Billy and Tommy who are juniors in high school who maybe get together and say, we're going to spend our entire year's worth of money and we're going to invite these three girls who we know are Taylor Swift fans. We're going to book a private theater just for us and these girls. I'm guaranteeing you those are the two top ticket purchasing demographics of this. And they're going to make a lot of money off those sad people.
I think you're right, but don't count out grandma and grandpa. That don't normally go to concerts.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the grandma and grandpa. They also are going to come up with this idea, especially like grandma's going to come up with the idea, but grandpa, she'll let grandpa take the credit, and he'll present it to the family or whatever. But I mean, this is the kind of thing that my grandmother Sissy, that's what we called her, Sissy. It's not because she was a sissy. Her name was Sissy Schoenfeld. So she would have been all over this. As a matter of fact, she would have known this was happening before I knew this was happening. And she would have brought it to us and said, I have a thing that I want you kids to come with me to go see. And we would have gone.
It's also just great for families. Ann and I, when Shang-Chi was out, we private rent. Now, it wasn't $800.
Right.
But we private rented an AMC theater and had a bunch of the Filipino side of the family all come and get together. And we all went out. We got our nieces and everything and her cousins. And we all went to go watch Shang-Chi. It's a really fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see a lot. These private theaters are going to be booked out. I guarantee you they're going to be completely booked. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.